That felt like Smallville all over again when Lex finally confronted Clark and had his hands on this pink glowing orb, and he used it to sabotage the Fortress of Solitude and had both Clark and Lex missing, but Lex claimed to be dead, and Clark was found in Russia. But that was just far worse. From Smallville, Lex was full with hatred and betrayal and turning into the Luthor that Lionel Luthor turned into before he became given and warm-hearted and decided to be the forces of good before he got pushed out of a window. But watching Lena pour her heart out, and how much that Kara tried to explain herself why she had to keep those secrets in. Because I mean, for example, if you had powers like that and you made friends with someone who's an enemy that has the same name, I know, for example, people would think it would be stupid to open up right away to see who you are. But at the same time, if you're Luthor and either like I'm a super, and I found out my enemy is Lex Luthor, and then a few years later I made friends with another Luthor who I can actually trust, and immediately right away I tell her that I'm that person, and then Lex uses it against the whole thing, and then people are going to be thinking, and well, the Lena's going to be thinking, oh, this is her fault, and then she'll probably end up killing herself instead of killing Lex. Now, if Kara told Lena from the very beginning, she would have been a walking target, using her against Supergirl all the time. That would just be, it would be hard to get by. And look at, for example, Smallville, where Pete found out about Clark and how much it pained Pete when he found out that he didn't tell his very close best friend that he's from another planet. But it did take time for their friendship to bond again. That took some time. And then the whole business with John finding out about the arrow, that took some time. And then Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman, that took some time. But I think this is a bit of damage that this can't be mended. Because I mean, she reversed the Luthor trap, but a Supergirl trap, but laced with kryptonite, and she only had to push two buttons. A push of a button, as you will. And how things are going to be like for the rest of the before and after the crisis. I wonder how she's going to keep herself together when she finds out that the Monitor brought Lex back, and I wonder what Lena's going to be like when she finds out that her brother that she killed is back from the dead by the hands of the Monitor. And Brainy is acting a bit weird ever since he cracked one of his inhibitors. So somehow it must have heightened his intelligence, or kind of haywired, but with good reason and good intention, by finding this order that's been going on for thousands of years. And this guy, who actually is an X-Files legend, Skinner, he is now part of the Supergirl series, but we don't know how long for. He's cooked to Brainy an airbender. Well, he is bald, and all he's missing is a blue arrow that goes from the top of his head downwards to his forehead. Finds out that he's been around for thousands of years, and he caused all the serious damages and the historical events, including the Noah's Ark flood. He got credit for that. And no offense, after seeing all that, I know Superman likes to collect things and places them in his Fortress of Solitude, but anything that's Lex weaponed, he should have destroyed them. Especially the Marriott. That should have gone bye-bye a long time ago. And I don't know how far this is going to go until Lena realizes what she's doing is wrong. She's turning into her brother, or Hope Tessmacher's going to stab her in the back and take control, like Superman 3 when the late Richard Pryor designed a master computer that was actually turning itself on, and it became alive and started to take away everything and feeding it off itself. Feeding it itself, should I say. And some things have been good and bad, like Kelly and Alex. I thought them two were going to break up. I thought that Alex was going to be hurt again. But they're healing together, which is good. And they both feel like home when they're together. And both Jean and Malevich have finally made their peace. And with the good help of Daddy Manhunter, the original voice of the Martian Manhunter of the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and in multiple animated movie occasions. And I think he was in a Van Damme movie too. I think he is. I think he was. I think it was Sudden Death. We just don't know what's going to happen next with this whole Leviathan. I said the name wrong again. I probably said it right, but I just don't know. But we're just going to have to wait until the next shows pop up. And then pretty soon, say about the next 2-3 weeks, the crises are going to begin. And then after the first 3 crises, it's going to take a break for the mid-season final. Then in the mid-season premiere, the crisis is going to continue with Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. And that Arrow episode is the final send-off for the show. And it's making me think a lot. Because, I mean, after all, Arrow was the first show I watched, and Arrow is the bringer of the Arrowverse, and I don't know how the rest of the world is going to hang on without him. But I did hear there's going to be a spin-off involving Earth 2 Laurel, Diana, and Mia being a group called the Canaries, so I wonder how that's going to go. But anyway, I'm sure you all know what to do, and I'll catch up with me with the Afterthoughts with 2 episodes of Black Lightning, and they'll be posted in order. As you probably seen through my channel, I've already uploaded the first ones that I finished. So until then, I'll see y'all later. Over and out.